Hey there, Rub-a-Dub subs, it's Blackmetalwerewolf making a brand new video for this week, and today's video is going to be a new concert review. On February 22nd, I finally got to see a band I've been wanting to see for about a decade, so I was super excited to get tickets, and super excited that they finally came to Canada, and that band is Lordi. I've been listening to Lordi since 2007. Most people think because of Eurovision, but here in Canada, we get very little news about Europe and stuff, so I had no idea what Eurovision was. Just one night in 2007 on Halloween, I was flicking through the channels looking for something cool to watch, and there was a Lordi music video on the French music station here. I saw it, I thought it was really cool, and the next day I went online and looked up Lordi and just became infatuated with the band. So I've been listening to them for about 10 years. And so when I heard that they were finally coming to Canada to do a show in Toronto, I really could not, pass up the opportunity. So this video is going to be my review of Lordi and their concert and the opening bands. So before I talk about Lordi, I want to talk about the opening bands first. There was two of them, and the first one was a band called Minetta. And let me tell you, it was something else. So the band took the stage, and it appeared they had like a circus freak motif going on as their gimmick, which was pretty cool. I can get down with that. That's a nice little gimmick thing they had going on. So one of the drummer had was like covered in sequins, and guitarist had a sequin mustache. The bassist had a clown bunny thing going on, and then the lead singer kind of stuck out like a sore thumb because she didn't really dress up like a clown. She had like funky makeup going on, but nothing that kind of fit in with the rest of the guys. But they started playing their music, and it wasn't bad. She had a really good voice, I'll give her that, and she wasn't too bad to look at either. But really, the music wasn't that inspired. It didn't make me go like, oh wow, after the concert, I gotta hit their merch table and get a CD. It was like, okay, this is a nice warm-up act. I can get behind this until the better bands take the stage. So, it was a bit of a hit or miss, the music-wise. The stage show, however, was something else. So first of all, the lead singer, she took out like a balloon and blew it up and then popped it with a staple gun to show us that it was a real staple gun. And then she took out a string of Christmas lights and then stapled them into her leg. And I don't think a lot of people were expecting that, and she lit it up. So it was a nice little light show she had going on. Later in the show, she ended up plucking them out of her leg, and you could like see the staple sticking out and blood running down her leg. So that was pretty cool. Dedication to a bit, I can appreciate that. Little did I know that was like the least weird thing they were going to do. It got considerably weirder from there. They ended up having what appeared to be a fetish performer come on stage. She had like bunny ears on, face paint, and her bra and panties. She then proceeded to put her hand into her panties and pull what appeared to be condoms full of fake blood out of her vagina, or at least I hope to God it was fake blood. And then she ended up smearing it all over her face and chest. That was certainly different. I wasn't expecting that, but I guess I should have expected something weird, seeing as my ticket said 19 and over. That kind of justified the age rating on that one, that's for sure. So when it comes down to Minetta, like, the music wasn't that bad. I'd give it like a 6 out of 10. Not terrible, but nothing that spectacular. It's the stage show that would make it or break it for some people. I suppose some people would think, like, the condoms full of fake blood coming out of a woman's vagina is like hot or cool, but other people would find it really offensive and disgusting. I just thought it was weird. It didn't offend me. I was just like, I did not expect this, but okay. So Minetta, 6 out of 10, that's pretty much the best I can give them. Not the best band in the world, but what can you do? It's just a warm-up act, right? So the second band was a band called Bukkake. They appeared to be a horror-themed death metal band, though I suppose most death metal bands are horror-themed to some extent. It's hard to imagine someone talking about death and blood and guts and murder and rape and shit like that without horror being an aspect to it, right? That's kind of horrific acts. But anyway, so they came out on stage and they had some pretty cool get-ups, obviously inspired by horror movies. One of them had a mask on that looked like Tarman from Return of the Living Dead. Another one had a Toxic Avenger thing going on. The drummer looked like a clown. One of the guitarists had a Freddy Krueger thing going on. And the lead singer had a pretty cool, pretty funky mask going on that made him look like a Deadite from Army of Darkness and shit. So the music started going, and they started out with the orchestra music from the movie Army of Darkness. So I was like, okay, I've never heard of these guys before, but it's very clear that they're very big horror fans. I think I'm going to be able to get behind this. So the music started playing, and it was, pretty good death metal music going, and I thought it was pretty damn good. right up until the lead singer started singing. His vocals fucking like killed it. Not in a good way, in a bad way. I don't know about you guys, but I fucking can't stand pig squealing vocals. To me, it could be like the best band in the fucking world, but as soon as somebody starts pig squealing, it fucking destroys it for me. And I looked around the crowd and I could see a lot of people were pretty set off by that too. I saw a bunch of people covering their ears because they couldn't stand listening to it. It was just very obnoxious. To me, that's the best way I can put it. The nicest way I can put it is pig squealing vocals are obnoxious. So it's very clear that a lot of people weren't really into it. And I really hate to say this, but their best songs weren't theirs. Like at the very beginning, they played the orchestra music from Army of Darkness. That got me pumped. Later in the show, they started playing the music from Halloween. That got me pumped. To me, the best part of the fucking show was when the lead singer got off stage and they started doing like a death metal version of the Donkey Kong music from Donkey Kong Country. It's probably one of my favorite video games, and they started doing like da na 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 da na 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 na. Like it sounded pretty damn good. And at that point, some guy came out in a Donkey Kong costume, and it was a really cool costume. And the lead singer came out with like a chainsaw and like split his chest open. He had like a gross rib cage. So that was pretty cool. So overall, when it came to Bukkake, once again, I think that band would be a lot better if they got a different singer. Like, cool imagery, music not bad at all, but it was the vocals that fucking killed it. Just get someone who doesn't do pig squealing, or get the current guy to stop his pig squealing, and it's good. It's very clear that they were trying to hype up the crowd, but the thing is, I don't think a lot of the people in the crowd were there for a death metal band. We were there for Lordi. So we have a bunch of people, like the people on stage, like, I want everyone to get into a death metal mosh pit. And everyone's like, okay, we didn't really come here to mosh. Lordi isn't really a mosh band. It just seemed like the wrong fit for the scenario they were in. I suppose if you like pig squealing, that's the band for you, but if not, I would definitely suggest avoiding Bukkake at all costs. So finally, those two shitty opening bands got off the stage, and they started setting up for the thing we've all been waiting for, Lordi. And, this tour is Lordi's first time ever performing in Canada, so everyone in the crowd was super excited. You can tell there were a lot of people in that crowd who have been waiting a very, very long time to see Lordi live, myself included. So we were all ultra pumped, we were all waiting with anticipation, and then the lights dimmed, and they started playing the song God of Thunder by Kiss over the speakers. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of Kiss, but God of Thunder isn't a bad song, so I can get behind that. And Lordi is obviously heavily inspired by Kiss, so obviously they wanted to get the crowd pumped and get themselves pumped too, right? Then the band came out in their costumes, and the costumes looked surprisingly good on stage. I wasn't, sure what to expect. I wasn't sure, the pictures on the albums and stuff would just, bit of photo magic. But no, they looked exactly the way they did. The costumes looked great. How they are able to perform in those things without fucking passing out from heat stroke is beyond me. But it doesn't matter, because they came out and they started playing, and it was fucking intense. They sounded great, and which I was worried about, because I heard a lot of people say that they've seen them perform in stadiums over in Europe, and I looked up videos, and sometimes when they perform in stadiums, the sound quality is complete shit. But I think they just don't sound well in stadium situations. I think they're just a better, smaller venue band. Because when they started playing, to me, it sounded perfect. And I was relatively close to the stage, so I don't really know how it sounded at the back. But, from where I was, I thought it sounded very close to what, a recording studio sounds like, which I was very pleased with. And so, sound quality, perfect. I don't even have that ringing in my ear. It was, at the perfect volume. It was loud, but not too loud. It didn't cross over into the territory of sonic mud, which was perfect. You could tell, when the fucking bass started going, you could hear it. The guitar solo sounded great. Drumming, keyboards, vocals, it all sounded amazing. It's clear that they really refined it, and since they've been on the road for so long, that they really tightened up their act and made it sound perfect, And so that's the sound quality, which was great. And then there was the stage presence, right? Mr. Lordi is a really funny guy. Between songs, he would talk to the crowd and crack jokes, and they even had the drummer doing rim shots to tell, hey, that's a good joke, that's a finished joke, haha. Anyway, so he was clearly having a great time. Everybody was, which was really good, because I've seen some bands, they just go on there, play their songs, and then get off. And it's okay, there's no interaction with the crowd, right? So it's good that even as they're sweating balls on stage and under the lights and those costumes, that they're still out there cracking jokes and having a great time with the crowd. So once again, stage presence, 10 out of 10. I loved it. And then there's the set list. I thought the set list was, I'd give it like an 8 out of 10. They played a lot of their hits, which is good, but to me, sometimes I don't always agree with the singles that the record company puts out. For example, like on their last album, one of the singles was Hug You Hardcore. Personally, I think that was the worst song on the album. I thought there were much better songs that they could have played live, and that those could have been the singles, right? So it's like, yeah, you played your singles and your hits, but there are other songs that you can play that are much better. I think they only played one song that wasn't really a single, Icon of Dominance. A great song. I just wish kind of they diversified it a bit more other than just playing, hey, our next hit. It's like, you have a lot better songs than just these ones, guys. Fucking reach into your library and give it to us, you know? So that's pretty much my biggest criticism. My next criticism, they started playing the song It Snows in Hell, which is a great song, don't get me wrong. It's a great power ballad. But halfway through the song, they transitioned from It Snows in Hell into Children of the Night, which is another great song. But they transitioned before the guitar solo in It Snows in Hell. To me, the guitar solo in that song is the best part of that song because it fucking rocks. But they didn't play it. Like, god damn it. You play a song that everyone loves, but you skip out on the best part. I think the explanation for that is because on the recording of the album, they don't have Lordi's guitarist playing the guitar solo. They have Bruce Kulick doing it. So I'm kind of thinking that maybe instead of the guitarist attempting it and fucking up, they thought maybe let's just transition into something else. Like, I can understand that, but, you know, they've been playing their instruments and everything for years. I kind of think he would have learned the guitar solo by then. So, you know, that was a bit of a disappointment, but other than that, the set list was perfect, the sound was perfect, the stage presence was perfect. These guys had a really good, tight show, and it just worked, which, it was perfect. You know, I don't say that about a lot of bands. I don't think Lordi was the best band I've ever seen. King Diamond still holds that pedestal that he was the best one, but Lordi is a very close second. I have to say, like, Lordi or Rob Zombie, they kind of hold the second place, but King Diamond is still number one, you know? Personally, I think that if you get a chance to see Lordi, you should, unless you're not a fan. But, you know, it's good, clean fun. Their stage show was funny. Each member had their own time in the spotlight. Obviously, the lead singer was out there cracking jokes. The bassist came on and did a wicked bass solo. They had a drum solo. They had a keyboard solo. The guitarist came out and, like, fucking show, like, oh yeah, got everybody pumped. It just worked really, really well. So I think if you have a chance to see Lordi live, you definitely should. I don't see any reason not to, other than maybe you're not a fan. So one last thing about the show is a little piece of merchandise I was able to pick up. When Lordi came to Canada, they got into contact with a hot sauce manufacturer to make their own special Lordi brand hot sauce that comes in this lovely signed box. Thankfully, I was able to get my hands on one of them because they were only selling 100 of them, and I was able to get number 12 out of 100 here. So when I went to the merch booth, there was only a few left, so I'm glad I was able to get my hands on it. So this is what it looks like here. Come in like nice little skull bottles. Yeah, hot sauce, hallelujah. So we have two different flavors here. We got Jack the Reaper and Cranscary Vodka Atomic Bomb. So I think I'm going to do a taste test for you guys here. So let's see how exactly hot these things are, shall we? I got some chicken and the hot sauces on the plate here. Let's see how hot these really, like, because they're saying these things are really fucking hot and spicy. So let's give it a shot then, shall we? Let's load it up on some chicken here. Oh, ho, ho, son of a bitch! Holy fuck! Yeah, this Cranscary Atomic one, that one's spicy as hell. It was like it was kind of mild at first, then it really punched me in the mouth. It's like someone like lightly pushing you, then punching you right in the dick. Okay, let's try the next one, shall we? Oh, let's load this one. Apparently, this one is even hotter. The Jack the Reaper one is even hotter than that one. That's good. Holy fuck. I don't know how they do it, but holy son of a bitch. They get it nice and mild at first, then it just punches you right in the mouth. Fuck. So yeah, those those are quite good, let me tell you. Might as well have a little bit more while I got some chicken left here. A bit of both. Oh, I love spicy food, my god. Damn, that's good. Nice and spicy. If you guys see Lordi and they have any of these left, you should definitely pick it up. So, like my past videos, I either do an album recommendation or an album warning. In this one, I'm happy to do another recommendation, and it is the new Overkill album, The Grinding Wheel. I picked it up the other day from Walmart. Surprisingly, I didn't think they would have this there. But yeah, I listened to it, and I thought it was really, really good. So if you're a fan of Overkill, definitely pick it up, even though I'm sure you guys already have it if you are a fan of Overkill. But if you've never listened to them before, you know, it's a good album. Pick it up, man. It's good thrash metal. Definitely check it out. So that's it for today's video. If you like what you saw, don't forget to like and subscribe, and leave me a comment letting me know what you thought of today's video. And check out some of my past videos, too, while you're at it. If you want to keep up with me on a more daily basis, you can follow me on Instagram. I'll put my Instagram name in the description. And I also have an official Facebook page now, so you can follow me on Facebook as well. I'll put a link to my official Facebook page in the description, so you can do that too. If you'd like to send me a letter or something, I have a P.O. box open now. I'll be putting my P.O. box in the description too. So overall, thank you very much for watching, guys. And if you happen to be living in a town that Lordi is performing in, definitely check them out. It's highly recommended. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and stay brutal.